All right then, welcome back once again to 5 Homes to Freedom. We are now in Module 2, Lesson 5, and we're going to be talking about different investor types. Get my screen to work here. There we go. So we're going to be talking about the different investor types that you could be attracting to or working with in your partnerships here. So I've classified them as inclusive or exclusive. You can also call them active versus silent. And then we also have equity versus non-equity. So we'll take a look at the inclusive type first of all. So an inclusive person or investor could be somebody who wants to be actively involved with you, and they're going to be wanting to look at the deals with you, identifying deals, sharing their opinions with you, whether they're legitimate concerns or not. They may want to be hands-on when it comes time to rehabbing and managing the project as well. And this could become a real issue for you to almost get into the micromanaging. So personally, I don't like to have inclusive partnerships simply because I'm deemed to be the expert. Therefore, let me do my job. If I'm going to bring somebody else in who wants to take on that role as well, then we would have to have a very clear agreement stating who's responsible for what. But that's the inclusive type of investor. Then we've got our exclusive type of investors. So these are people that I really prefer to work with, and these are individuals who just simply don't have the time to invest in real estate. They understand the value of investing in it, and they've got the desire to do it, but they just don't have the time or the knowledge to do it themselves. They're looking for good solid returns with a relatively low risk, and don't ever say that real estate has no risk, but I strongly believe that if it's done properly, that it has an extremely low risk, especially when you compare it to mutual funds that most people are accustomed to investing in. These individuals are also looking for headache-free situations. They don't want to be dealing with the tenants. They basically hands-off, and they're willing to lend the money not secured against the actual property sometimes. So they may or may not ask for it to be secured against the property. And the reason why some don't want it secured is that they may be trying to keep their earnings quiet. They want to stay under the radar. They don't want other individuals. It's not that they're trying to avoid paying taxes. That's not the implication here at all. But they may not want their business partners or life partners or whoever to know what they're actually doing. However, they may want to have it personally guaranteed. So somebody could lend money to you, not have it secured against the asset itself, but they could still have you personally guarantee that money. Or they may want to have it secured against another property in another location. There's a lot of different reasons for people not wanting to be known that they're actually investing out there as well. So you have to respect that. Now, when you have somebody who wants to be an equity partner, and this is probably more often the case than not, then in this situation, what they're going to happen is you're going to have them registered on title with you as the owner. Now, you may not be on title yourself. That's another scenario, but we're just talking about the partners. They would definitely like to participate in the growth. That's what we call the appreciation. So they're not simply a money partner. They're not just simply lending you the money in exchange for a return on their investment of, say, 10 or 12%. They actually want to participate in the growth as well. However, if they're going to be an equity partner and they want to participate in the growth, then they need to be willing to participate in the risk as well. And the risk with respect to real estate is, when things don't go the way you plan, you've got a higher vacancy rather, therefore lower cash flow, or you've got cash calls because you've got a major renovation that needs to take place. They have to participate in that as well. Now, they may also when you're dealing with equity partners, how you structure the deal is there's as many ways as as you can dream of to structure the deal. So they may not receive any interest for their down payment. They may just receive a share of the cash flow, and or they may receive a share of the cash flow and a share of the equity, or they may receive a small monthly payment of a low interest rate plus a share of the cash flow and a share of the equity. You can see it's whatever the two parties agree upon. So as long as everybody agrees, that's the key. With your non-equity partners, they're not going to be registered on title with you as the owner, and they're going to be more like a lender than a partner. But you can still have them recorded as a partner, and you can have paperwork based on them being a partner as well. They may participate in the growth, or they may not. May receive zero interest for down payments. They may share the cash flow or any combination thereof. So the point of this very, very short lesson actually is just to explain to you the different types of partners that you could be introduced to. And for myself personally, the ideal partnership that I have and I've been very successful with is equity partners, but they're silent partners as well. So we will be talking later on about how to structure a joint venture agreement, but this is exactly how we do it. We have the joint venture agreement, which lays out very clearly who's responsible for what, and the partners can't just call me up and say that they don't like the way I'm running the property. We have this agreement that allows me to do what I need to do as the owner of the property, the manager of the property, and their role as the equity partner and the money partner is very clearly laid out as well. And we've got a very good relationship moving forward then. And if we do have any issues or problems, then we just refer back to our mutually agreed upon joint venture agreement, and that resolves the issues. So those are the types of partners that I prefer to have in my deals, and whatever works for you, as long as you understand what the difference is between the different partners. So I expect that will generate lots of questions. It's really difficult to provide a whole lot of clarity with respect to the different types of investing partners. But as I mentioned, we will be talking over the next 3 lessons a bit more about partnerships and whatnot. So please save your questions until the end of the module, and we'll look forward to chatting with you then. We'll see you at the top.